All right, welcome back everyone. So today we're doing something a little different, something pretty cool actually. We're going to zoom way in on just one single day in the life of Nicholas Alexander Benson. The date, September 18th, 2025. We're going to see just how his mind and, specifically his dreams basically become this engine for all his creative work.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. The craziest part is, his day started before he even woke up. Nicholas kicks off a lucid dream, right? But this isn't, your standard flying over the city kind of dream. No way. He finds himself cruising in his ghostly UFO, which by the way is named Leon, to this absolutely epic location, an active volcano.
So why the trip to a volcano? What's going on there? Well, he's there to watch a sport that, let's be honest, could only be cooked up in the subconscious. He's there for a game of wart ball. And believe me, this one bizarre dream is going to power his entire day's creativity.
And the matchup in this dream? It's just fascinating. So picture this. You've got a pyromancer, a fire wielder, totally in his element inside a volcano, obviously. And on the other side of the net, a cryomancer, an ice wielder. Talk about a home field disadvantage, right? But here's the twist. They aren't just fighting. They're actually playing a game.
So you're probably asking, what on earth is wart ball? Well, it's this brilliant mashup straight out of Nicholas's mind. Think about volleyball, but instead of just spiking a ball, each player can just unleash total elemental chaos. It's this awesome mix of game strategy and just raw, untamed power.
And this is where it gets good. This is the climax of the whole thing. The cryomancer, against all odds, just unleashes this unbelievable wave of power. He doesn't just freeze his opponent, he freezes the entire volcano. I mean, that's a total power move, an absolute win, right? Well, not so fast. Turns out it was a tie. Why? Because while he won the power struggle, he'd already lost the actual volleyball match.
Okay, so you wake up from a dream like that. What do you even do with it? For Nicholas, just having the dream is step one. The real work begins next, figuring out what it all actually means.
And this is such a key part of his whole creative process. He doesn't just scribble down a few notes in a journal. Nope, he uses his AI partner Gemini Nova to create this whole spoken word analysis he calls a dreamcast. It's basically a tool that helps him take this weird, surreal story from his dream and turn it into something he can actually use. And this right here is the absolute core lesson that Gemini Nova pulled from that wart ball dream. Get this. Overwhelming power is meaningless if you fail to play by the rules of the game. So it wasn't really about the amazing feat of freezing a volcano. The dream was actually about strategy. All that incredible power the cryomancer had, it meant nothing because he'd already lost sight of the main objective, winning the game.
And here's where it all clicks together. This wasn't some random abstract thought. It was tied directly to what he was doing in his waking life. See, he'd been spending all this time studying the rules and mechanics of the new Marvel Multiverse RPG. His subconscious was literally running simulations of what he was learning, how immense power has to work inside a system of rules.
So, okay, the dream's been had, it's been analyzed, what's next? Well, now comes the fun part, creation. This one single vision is about to set off a chain reaction of creative work, turning a weird dream into real, tangible stuff.
First things first, he's got to make it visual. So he creates this reference art to really nail down the look of the characters, the cryomancer, the pyromancer, plus his UFO and the whole volcanic setting. It's like building the visual blueprint for everything else he's about to make.
All right, so once the look is locked in, he takes that whole dream narrative and turns it into this awesome 3-panel comic strip. And you can see the whole story play out right here. The arrival, the insane game, and that final shocking frozen ending. It's the entire dream, perfectly captured and told as a story. But he wasn't done yet. It wasn't just about the visuals. The dream also sparked a song, which he called a dream tune. And check out these lyrics from the hook. They're great. Inside a volcano, the view was a vision. A fiery fight faced a frigid collision. The wart ball battle was a brilliant blaze, ending in a fantastic frozen haze. I mean, that just perfectly captures that epic, fiery, icy showdown, doesn't it?
Now, as incredible as all that is, remember, all that stuff came from one dream. That was just one part of his day. So let's kind of zoom out now and take a look at what else was going on, the other projects and interests he was getting into.
Get this. On the same exact day, he also published a totally different comic, this one called Boiling Point. And the premise is just so good. What happens when a hero who's supposed to be unbreakable starts to rust? It's just amazing. It shows you how many different stories he's juggling at once.
And you know, a creative person doesn't just exist in a bubble. He was also diving deep into pop culture and his community. We're talking reading and breaking down a Deadpool/Batman comic, giving really thoughtful, detailed feedback on a friend's story, and then heading out to his local writing club that evening. It's all part of the life.
So, at the end of this totally packed, super creative day, how did Nicholas himself sum it all up?
He boils it all down into his daily highlight comic, and you can see the big takeaways right here. He had that wild, lucid dream about superpowered warthogs. He walked some charity miles for Feeding America, which is awesome. He published his new comic, Boiling Point, and he just had a really fun time at his writers club. I mean, that's a pretty perfect summary of a fantastic day.
It's just incredible when you step back and look at it. One single bizarre dream about warthogs playing volleyball in a volcano, and it becomes the seed for art, a comic, and a song. And that's all on top of his other work and his community stuff. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of story is his subconscious going to cook up next?